Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're dissecting the anatomy of an absolute thriller, Argentina versus Egypt. We're unpacking a match that quite literally stopped the world. The 2026 World Cup round of 16 gave us a fixture with incredibly high stakes. We had the defending world champions facing off against an underdog riding this massive wave of historic momentum. So let's dive right into this.
Now, you might be wondering, how close did Egypt actually come to pulling off the greatest World Cup upset ever? The answer is breathtakingly close. What unfolded over those 90-plus minutes was a display of sheer disbelief, tactical brilliance, and just pure drama that almost no one saw coming.
Let's set the stage with Section 1, the ultimate David versus Goliath.
The stark contrast in how these two teams actually arrived at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta is fascinating. On one side, you had Lionel Scaloni's Argentina, right? They were on a totally flawless run. We're talking 4 straight wins in the tournament, blasting 11 goals past their opponents, and get this, their 39-year-old captain Lionel Messi accounted for 7 of those. They were just a well-oiled, dominant machine. On the other side, Egypt walked a much grittier path. Led by Mohamed Salah, the Pharaohs were unbeaten. They survived the group stage and ground out a historic, first-ever knockout win against Australia on penalties. They were resilient, highly organized, and basically playing with house money.
Moving right along to Section 2, an unbelievable first half.
Minute 15. That is when the defending champions were absolutely stunned. Out of nowhere, an opening header rocketed past Argentina goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez, handing Egypt a shocking 1-0 lead.
And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the sheer magic of the World Cup. Meet our unexpected hero, Yasser Ibrahim. He's a 33-year-old defender who spent his entire professional career in Egypt, primarily with Al Ahly. This was only his 23rd international match. He built his whole career on defensive consistency, definitely not offensive output. In fact, this towering header was only his second ever international goal. Talk about picking your moment on the most massive stage possible.
But, Argentina's Argentina. Just 6 minutes later, in the 21st minute, they had a golden chance to equalize.
Nicolas Tagliafico drew a penalty, sending Lionel Messi to the spot. It felt completely inevitable. But then, magic struck twice for the Pharaohs. Egyptian goalkeeper Mostafa Ahmed Shobir stepped up and actually saved Messi's penalty. It was this heroic, unbelievable moment that sent shockwaves through the stadium. But the crazier takeaway here, this wasn't just a great save. It was actually Messi's second failed spot kick of the entire 2026 tournament. Just wild.
Which brings us to Section 3. The upset seems inevitable.
Let's fast forward a bit to the 67th minute. This was a moment of pure, unadulterated disbelief for the entire global audience.
Mustafa Zico brilliantly finishes off a cross 2-0 for Egypt against Argentina. A 2-goal deficit looked absolutely impossible for Lionel Scaloni's side to overcome, especially given how incredibly organized and resilient the Egyptian defense had been all tournament long. The unthinkable was actually happening.
But then, we hit Section 4. The champions strike back. So, the absolutely crucial point of this match is this rapid, breathless 13-minute sequence. Minute 79, Christian Romero pulls one back. Suddenly, there's a pulse. Less than 5 minutes later, minute 83, Lionel Messi atones for his missed penalty and levels the match at 2-2. The momentum completely shifts like a tidal wave. Then, deep into stoppage time, minute 90+2, Enzo Fernandez plants a header right into the top right corner. 3 goals in 13 lightning-fast minutes to completely flip the script and break Egyptian hearts.
Now, why does this specific comeback matter so much? Because it was literal history. This was the first time Argentina has ever come back from 2 goals down to win at the World Cup. It really underscores the immense mental fortitude and absolute champion mentality of La Albiceleste. They flat out refused to be the victims of an upset.
Finally, let's look at Section 5, heartbreak and historic legacy.
That frantic stoppage time wasn't just about Fernandez's winning goal. Just before that counterattack, there was intense controversy. Egypt was fuming over what they believed was an uncalled foul by Alexis McAllister on Fati in the Argentine box. The referee did not award a penalty, and that led to absolute chaos on the field. Goalkeeper Shobir was booked for protesting, Coach Hassam Hassan was booked for his complaints on the touchline, an Egyptian staff member even raced onto the pitch and was red-carded. The facts just show how intensely contested and emotionally charged those final seconds were for absolutely everyone involved.
At the final whistle, the emotional whiplash was extreme. You had Lionel Messi, the global icon, in tears of absolute joy after surviving an incredible scare. And on the flip side, Mohamed Salah, who had inspired his team so much, looking utterly devastated. It's really the highest highs and lowest lows of the sport captured in a single unforgettable moment.
But let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture for Egypt. Because despite the loss, Coach Hossam Hassan guided the Pharaohs to unprecedented heights. This was their first ever knockout stage appearance and the deepest World Cup run in the nation's history. They did their country and their region incredibly proud. And with their exit, Morocco now stands as the only remaining team from the Middle East and North Africa, as well as the entire African continent, still alive in the tournament.
So, what does this mean for the immediate consequences of the tournament bracket? Well, Argentina survives and advances to the quarterfinals. Their path continues as they'll face the winner of the match between Switzerland and Colombia. Their title defense remains very much alive, though clearly they've shown some uncharacteristic vulnerabilities.
Which brings us to a final thought I want you to really mull over. Did Argentina just survive their toughest test of the tournament, forging a resilient path to another title, or did Egypt's tactical brilliance and early 2-0 lead provide the rest of the world with the exact blueprint on how to defeat the reigning champions? It's a fascinating question that will absolutely hang over the rest of this 2026 World Cup. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.